Okay, now don't get me wrong. Selfishness can be a very good thing. Why? What is one big benefit of selfishness is that it cures depression. If a person is depressed, he feels miserable, sad, doesn't believe in himself, wants to give up. So someone comes and says, "You're the greatest, you're the best, you're the smartest, you can do it," right? Go and dancing, do anything just to feel yourself, feel alive again, right? Because depression is that you feel dead. They feel alive, be alive, feel yourself, be an egotist. Okay, in a way that's good. If it stops a person from depression, from suicide, from what, it's a good thing. But it's only an intermediary. That's not the goal, is to feel yourself. The goal is to think about the world. Think about what God thinks about. What does God think about? The world. God wants a good world. He creates the world. He keeps the world alive. Right? Look at the world from God's point of view, not from your point of view. Your point of view is, I want to get, I think, I need, who messed with me? Who took my stuff? Who took my, that capital I, that's a mulek. From that I comes all these bad emotions. Then, Zeu kol inyan shel nefesh habahamis. This is the whole idea of the nefesh habahamis. We are 4 lines from the bottom of the page, page on the left side page. That abbreviation is nefesh habahamis, the animal soul. The whole idea, the right side, right. To be nimshach achar atov hagashmi v'hachumri. The whole idea of the animal soul is to be drawn after immediate physical good. Upol al adam, it causes a person liot nimshach achar zeh, to be drawn after this. They say the famous story that once the pupils of Aristotle was like the pupil of, what was it? Plato and Socrates. I don't even remember which came first. Plato and Socrates. Aristotle was like the teacher of Alexander the Great. Fantastic philosopher. Even the Maimonides says that he has the deepest mind that a human being can get to yet. And they saw him doing a not nice thing with his horse or whatever. A pleasurable act with his horse. That's what I heard the story. His pupils. And they said, "What are you doing? You just told us, talking about the upper spheres, and what are you doing?" He said, "That was Aristotle the philosopher. This is Aristotle the man." And it might be a stupid story, but the fact is that I really saw things. I mean, not to that degree of depravity, but I used to play. I used to have a band in university. I used to play, and I played fraternity parties. And I remember once I was invited to a party, a private house party, and I played with my band. We played. And I saw these people doing these really weird things, childish, stupid things. Some of the things were really not nice. And I asked somebody, what type of party is this? "Oh, this is the party for the faculty. That's the professor of sociology. There's the professor over there of economics. There's the professor of the," right? These people were just acting like animals, like babies, right? But that's cool, right? In the daytime, I'm really limited, and I'm acting all proper, but I'll show you who I really am. I can let loose. Right? I'm young. I'm vibrant. I'm alive. That's what the animal soul really wants. It wants, let go, be yourself, do what you want. Just do it. Kol kach, what happens? A person, kol kachu moshech adam. The animal soul can draw a person so much into pleasures, into what he wants, ad asher, until, God forbid, mechase al seichel anushi, he covers over human intelligence. And human intelligence used to be a big thing. People did duels, right? You are ugly. I am ugly. I challenge you to a duel. And one guy would get killed, right? Because you're not going to mess with me. You don't know who I am. They have it now in a duel, a dukrav. Atam avayesh oti, atam the dukrav, right? There's road rage. Road rage, cut me up. A person is so stuck in himself that as soon as you mess with me, right, I think. Kol kachu moshech et adam so much that chas v'shalom covers over even human intelligence. What do they call it? Common sense. The kama pamim that there are many times how adam holech b'shrirut libu. A person can go in the freedom of his heart. Whatever I want, I do. Gam mesaken nafsho. He can even endanger himself b'geneva v'gazela, with thievery and stealing, laman, in order lamalos taivos nafsho, to fill the desires of his soul, ad shenaseh, until he becomes rotseach v'ganev nefesh. A person can become a murderer and a kidnapper. Hey, we just had, didn't we have just recently? This what's his name? Clinton, right? President of the United States. The guy couldn't control himself, right? He had to go grabbing women in the White House. That stupid, crazy things they wanted to appreciate. Guy could not control his lusts, his pleasure. And they're revealing more and more in Congress, and then there's these priests, these Catholic priests are realizing with the children. Come on, what's going on? He says that's the nature of a person is being selfish. And selfishness brings all these crazy desires. And sometimes they're even self-destructive, to the point where they're even self-destructive. A person destructs himself. And how much more so, Shemabed Aseichel Eloki. He loses his godly intelligence, right? To think about God, no way. He's not even thinking about himself. He's so interested in his desires. There's a thing in the world called addiction. People become addicted and they destroy themselves. And even when they realize they're destroying themselves and they want to stop, they can't. They can't do it. They have to go to special courses and take special treatments and special this, and then meditations and group therapy and that, and it still doesn't work, right? It works 20% of the time, 25 to 30% of the time, because people just their natures take over. Erveret an dem ganzen Inyan from Ruchnius und Gelichtkeit. Wird an. He totally loses the whole topic of spirituality and godliness. Getlichkeit. It looks like a nun. It's hard to read the printing. The printing is very bad. He loses all the idea of spirituality or godliness. He just says, I am going to do what I want. What do I want? I don't even know. Don't even know what I want. Right? I'll do what everybody else does. I'll do what everybody else tells me. I'll do what I'm told to do. I don't know what I want to do. Right? This is what I want. Right? This is what I want. To take drugs. Oh, now I feel this is my real me. Now to make money. It can be that a person, if he listens to his animal soul too much and doesn't have any spirituality, he goes from level to level, until he becomes nofel be'emki ra, until he falls into the depths of evil. And that's why people can get into these cults, things like this, because they totally lose any feeling of spirituality, any values. And anyone can come along and stick them with any idea. Look at yourself. Look where you've gotten to. Believe in the frog. Believe in the stars, believe in the sky, believe in this man, believe in the spirit, right? Go to the east, you learn, be in nirvana, get to this level. They're willing to do anything. People are so desperate because they're so empty. That's what the thing is. The animal soul empties a person out. A person doesn't have any values anymore. But really, even a person, no matter how low he goes, and no matter how far he falls, Yeshlo hatchala v'siba, there is a beginning and a cause. Asher gormu yuridasam v'nevilasam. There is a cause. These are only symptoms. There is a cause to it. Hatchala tasiba, the beginning of there is heder simas lev ala ruchnias, is not noticing spirituality, v'darki avoda, or doing any type of service of God. This period is not a period. It's an ink spot. Avoda ruchnis. A person does not have any spirituality whatsoever in his life. Und ton mit sich vernimmt nicht kein Ort. And to work on his own self doesn't have any place. He has no such idea of improving himself, of working on himself, of changing himself. That's one reason why sports is a good thing, right? A lot of people go to the army. Good thing. Why? Because it teaches you have to control yourself, right? Learning an instrument, music. Good thing, you have to control yourself. You have to do practice. You cannot do what you want. This is a very valuable lesson. You have to have teamwork. You have to not do what you want. You have to do what the team wants. You have to do what the captain wants. You have to do what the conductor says. Control yourself. When a person does not have any spirituality in his life, and there's no type of working on his own self, when it doesn't tofes makom, as then hine hagam she'osek b'Torah, even if this person does learn Torah, and even if this person does pray, umakayim mitzvos, and he does the commandments, but calls all this below hergish, without any feeling, avoda, of service, v'chayos ruchni, or spiritual life. A person, who is the Rebbe writing this to? Who is the Rebbe writing this to? He's writing this time. He's writing it to Chassidim. He's writing it to the Chassidim. He's not writing it to us to tell us how great we are and how good we are. Not like those people over there. No, the Rebbe is talking to me. He's telling me how I have to fix myself up. Just one second. Will it help or not? Okay. All right, what's the Rebbe talking about now? You have to do what's called spiritual work. Which page are we on? We're on 571. Yes. Here we go. Hergish. The first word is hergish on the line. First word on the line is hergish. You can count it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 lines down from the Torah. I did. Oh, yes. Umakayim the mitzvahs. Does the mitzvahs, right. He does, he's right. This is six lines from the top, 7 lines from the top of the page. All this is below. He does the Torah, he does mitzvahs. The Rebbe is talking to people like us. He does the Torah and he does mitzvahs, but it's all without any feeling of service of God, the chayos ruchni, and spiritual feeling. This is the beginning of the reason, liyurida, for a descent. Asher chas v'shalom, God forbid, meviyao, brings the person liyadei nefila gamura, to total falling. What does it mean, total falling? A person, a Jewish person, especially a Jewish person, eventually the whole world, must have this feeling of, I want to serve God. In order to do that, I have to change myself. You don't have this feeling of, I want to serve God. You just do the commandments because everybody else does it. Kasher ruchani, when spiritual, hayatofis makom, if the spiritual would have a place by him, if he would try to have a little bit of love or appreciation from God, then when ruchani farnemt an ort, when Judaism, when spirituality takes a place by a Jew, hine az, then hare muvan, it's understood, musag, and can even be grasped in his mind, b'hasaga gemora, with a total understanding that learning Torah and praying and doing the commandments, b'li hergesh chayos, without any inner feeling, without any excitement, hainu hergesh elokim, namely feeling God, a getlecha gefil, a godly feeling, who kaguf v'lo neshama. It's like a body without a soul. What happens to a body without a soul? A body without a soul? What?
Body without a soul?
Dead. Person's dead, right?
No longer in this world.
Not longer in this world. But on the other end, it's not so. Here, a person is in this world, right? Bad news. Your Uncle Joe just died. Oh no, he just died.
He's not in the world anymore.
Okay.
He's in heaven.
So you go in the room and you see there's Uncle Joe. He's laying in the bed. His eyes are closed. You say, you sure he's not alive? Not alive. Look at the sign. Heart
That's
not beating.
why you have to check the pulse. That
Right.
means you're alive.
Right.
The pulse is
But it's
not
not.
there.
His pulse is not
No.
going. There's no brain signals. But his body is still there.
Then you have to bury him, or the soul is gonna linger. It's not gonna leave the
Okay,
world.
very good. But nevertheless, the person, his body is there, and that's it. It's Uncle Joe, but he's not alive. What should we do? Let's keep him around.
Bury him. That's a bad
Very-
idea. You
yes.
do not want the soul to linger. You
So,
want the soul to leave
very
the
good.
world.
Yes, you do. You say, I got an idea. Listen, let's stuff him. We'll stuff Uncle Joe, and we'll leave him around. He says, listen, that's Uncle Joe's body is not Uncle Joe, right? That's not Uncle Joe. Like you said, we got to bury him. So you're going to put Uncle Joe on the ground? We liked him so much. How can you do a bad thing like that at the ground? His soul is not there. He's not there. Eventually the body will rot if you just leave it out like that. And not only that, that's not Uncle Joe. That was Uncle Joe's body. That's not him. There are places, in fact, that they do that. There are places that they do that. They mummify their parents in Mexico. They have the death rooms. I never saw it, but I saw pictures of it, where they put their family in the room. They dry them out. They dress them up. They put them in a room. They give them once in a year. They sit and they eat with them. It's not a normal 100%, but that's what they.
That's by birth. That's illegal in most countries.
Anyway, could be. That's the same thing as a person that does the commandments and he learns the Torah and he does all the prayers, but he doesn't have any life in it. The body is still there. The body is there. He's learning the Torah. He's doing the commandments. He's praying. He's moving back and forth, but the soul is not there. There's no soul. What's the soul supposed to
It's
be?
in heaven in that.
What's the soul supposed to be? What's the soul supposed to be? The soul is supposed to be your feelings for the Creator. You sit and you think for a second, God is really good. God is really creating me. God is wonderful. I am praying to God. First of all, you have to understand the words of the prayers. And then you think you start to understand the words. You see, this is talking about how God creates the trees and God creates the rivers and all then God took us out of Egypt and the angels are praising God and God is really great and he's really wonderful and he's powerful and he's awesome. And what King David said about God and what you start to think about, God, that's spiritual feeling. Feeling is the word. Feeling, that's the soul.
But when you're dead, your soul leaves the body. It goes straight to heaven. Yeah, you're buried.
But that's not the point. The point is, yes, but the point is that the body, the soul is not connected to the body. That's the point, right? Being dead is not a good state.
Of course, because your soul has to leave your body,
Right.
go up to Samayim, and then Samayim it's a better place, but there's no physical desire, only spiritual.
There's no physical service of God. Up in heaven, you get happy, but here you make God happy. Here in this world, you can actually make God happy. When you do the commandments, it makes God happy. When you're in heaven, you can't do anything. There's no free will. So it says, but in order to make God happy in this world, it says, Nachat Ruach, Tanu Oz Le'Elokim. It says, so it says it's not good enough just to learn Torah and to do the mitzvahs. You have to have you have to do that, of course, wonderful.
Yeah.
But a soul without a body is also not good. You can't just have love and not do the commandments. What you have to, but it's very important that a person has to have both. Has to have the body and the soul. Maybe you can say the body is the most important thing. Maybe it is. A soul without a body is nothing, right? They can't come out of the lady is giving birth and they come out to her husband and say, Mazel Tov, you just gave birth to a soul. What do you mean? Well, there's no baby there. Nothing came out, but a soul came out. What does that mean? What does it mean, right? If a baby comes out, maybe they can do something to it. They can work on it. They can resuscitate it. Same thing, you're doing Torah, the mitzvahs, is the body. But you have to have the soul. What's the soul? feeling for God. I am doing God's mitzvahs. I am learning God's Torah. You're not thinking about I'm learning God's Torah and doing the mitzvahs in order to go to heaven. That's selfish. What I'm going to get. You think about how good God is, how lucky I am to be alive, that I am doing God's commandments. I am learning God's Torah. That's called a body with a soul. If a person does not have the soul, it's like a body without a soul. What happens eventually? It rots away. Right? It rots away. The same thing, a person that does Torah and does the commandments, but he doesn't have any feeling for God, eventually he's going to say, what am I doing? What am I doing this stuff for? What's the point? Well, why am I doing all this to make my father happy, to make the teachers happy, to be with one of the kids? Right? Yesterday I went out and I went roller skating. That I like. Roller skating. Oh, that made me feel good. This doesn't make me feel good. You have to have a soul when you learn Torah and do the commandments. What's the soul? I'm doing God's command. This is God's thoughts. This is God's will. I'm really doing this right now. This is incredible. Right? Not what I'm going to get, what I'm giving. I'm actually doing God's will. This is amazing. Anivrom hine im hiostem. Is that where we are? Yeah. Nivroim, that the creations, hine, behold. Oh, that's today's lesson. God willing, tomorrow we'll continue. Good.